Hello, today I'm going to be doing a sort of an unboxing, although I've actually opened the packages already. The problem was that I didn't know which package contained the item that I wanted to talk about. So I've had to open two identical packages to find out. And the first one that I opened is, or contained this Blu-ray. It's one of the earliest films by Christopher Nolan, which I've not actually seen yet, which I'm looking forward to watching probably over the weekend sometime. Insomnia. But that wasn't what I was looking for. What I was looking for instead was this, which is the second edition of my collection of short stories, The Prison. It's got two extra stories in it, and it's got a new introduction. By comparison, let's look at the older version, which is here. There is another difference as well. This version has got the matte finish, whereas the new version, I deliberately opted for the glossy finish. I opted for the glossy on another of my books, the thriller Black Art, so that would be interesting to see how it looks. And it comes out very well. The text is actually clearer, especially on the back as well, the back cover text. Okay. So I want to say a little bit about this new introduction, which is called A Portrait of the Artist as a Working Class Anti-Hero. Now, that title, of course, has been riffed on before. It's based, obviously, on James Joyce's novel. But Dylan Thomas, as you may recall, wrote a collection of short stories as well, which is entitled A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Dog. Now, my new introduction came about as a result of an initiative that was launched by a writer who's called Kit Duvall. And she, in together with another writer who I actually know, called Carmen Marcus from a place called Redcar, or Redcar, as the locals pronounce it. They basically joined forces to launch this initiative. And the initiative is to promote working class voices in the field of literature, because working class voices tend to be deliberately excluded by the publishing industry, which is very much bourgeois-centric, and that's in terms of its readership and in terms of the authors that are represented. Now, that's a very, very honourable thing to do, a very worthwhile cause. And they set up a crowdfunding site, to publish this anthology, which has got the title of Common People. And they've actually reached their funding target, so the book will go ahead. Now, in terms of the authors that are going to be selected for inclusion in this anthology, the process is meant to go something like this. Around the country, there are various agencies which represent writing. The same is true in terms of film, for example, as well. So I live in the Northeast, and my local agency is called New Writing North. If I was into film, which I am as well, it would be Northern Film and Media. So the idea, therefore, would be for New Writing North to select possible candidates for inclusion in this anthology. But there's a problem. Let me explain. I'm going to take a drink first, just to loosen the old vocal cords. The problem is this. New Writing North has its own coterie of writers. These are writers who it has supported and who it will therefore be putting forward for the initiative. But that's not good to me, because I'm not part of that little exclusive club, and neither are a lot of other people in this area. So in other words, I've been excluded. So there's the irony of the whole situation. we've got an initiative set up to include people, and now we're being excluded. The gatekeepers are at work again. It's a shocking state of affairs if you think about it. But it's typical of the way that public bodies like this operate. So, what to do in those circumstances? Well, as an anarchist, I'm not going to be deflected by anything like that. Why should that bother me? I'll just do my own damn thing, as I've always done. So I ended up writing a much longer piece. In fact, it's twice as long as was recommended for the anthology. I think they recommended somewhere in the region of 1,000 words. I've written a piece that's about 2,500 words long. So once I'd written it, it was a case of, well, where can I get it published? Well, in terms of my collection of short stories, I thought it would be the ideal place to put it as an introduction, and that's where it is. So in the book itself, it takes pride of place at the start. Here it is. Portrait of the artist as a working class anti-hero. So there you have it. That's the story of the introduction. That's the story of my new collected short stories. And all I have to say to not Northern Film and Media, all I have to say to New Writing North is this. Cheers for that. You played a blinder. You inspired me to write a work which has got published in any case, despite your opposition. Thanks for that.